1 year after the worst assault on democracy since the end of the military dictatorship in the 1980s, Brazil's institutions have survived. President Lula says democracy remains undisturbed, but the country is still haunted by the ghost of the January 8th Brasília riots. This Monday, an event at the Supreme Court to commemorate the first anniversary of the incident was notable for its absentees, with several opposition governors and major political figures skipping the engagement, fearing that they would lose votes from supporters of far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro, the most radical of whom were behind the January 8th riots in the first place. What's more, an alarming amount of revisionist history is going on, and many political groups have been trying to reduce the January 8th unrest to just another wedge dividing Brazilian society. Soon after the riots, Bolsonaro allies in Congress pushed for a parliamentary inquiry into the incident, a plan to reframe the riots as peaceful demonstrations derailed by the actions of undercover leftist agent provocateurs. Some even suggested that the entire attack was a false flag operation by the Lula government. Their plans were thwarted when the government secured a majority on the inquiry committee, the final report of which pinned the blame on Bolsonaro, the Brasília police, and several members of the military. Despite the war of narratives and the hostile political environment facing the government in the beginning of 2023, the institutional response to the January 8th riots was swift and blunt, and is still developing. Lawsuits filed by federal prosecutors led to charges against more than 1,300 people and 30 convictions, but they were all rank-and-file rioters. The political, military and business leaders who financed and helped plan the attacks have so far gone unpunished. Now, as the investigation nears its 1-year anniversary, various police and prosecutorial findings are still coming to light, even including a plot to assassinate Supreme Court Justice Alexandre de Moraes. Forgiveness would mean impunity, said Lula during Monday's ceremony. But while the government seems to have consolidated the institutional narrative around the riots, the same cannot be said for society as a whole. A recent poll showed that 38% of Brazilians still believe Lula did not get more votes than Bolsonaro in the 2022 election, despite the lack of even the slightest evidence of voter fraud. 44% believe Bolsonaro had nothing to do with January the 8th, and 43% say sentences for rioters have been too harsh. That same poll showed that only around 19% of Brazilians believe the intent of January 8th was to launch a military coup, while 21% say the riots were motivated by electoral fraud. Lula may have won the election and the narrative battle in Brasília, but he's still got ways to go to convince the population of his government's legitimacy. Did you enjoy watching this video? Let us know what you think in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and co-workers. And if you like our videos, you should consider supporting our work by subscribing to the Brazilian Report, choosing any plan for just $1 for the first month. As a subscription-based business, readers are very important for us. But if you're not thinking of subscribing to the Brazilian Report just yet, there is another way to support our work. Quality journalism takes a lot of hard work. And coffee, lots of coffee. And you can support us by donating a cup of coffee on our Buy Me a Coffee page, and you can even get exclusive content and perks by becoming a member of our Buy Me a Coffee community. Join now and get a special shout out on our Explaining Brazil podcast, a question answered by our newsroom about Brazil or Latin America every month, or even our special Brazilian culture newsletter available on our Brazilian Insider membership tier. For us, it's not just about coffee, so go to buymeacoffee.com/Brazilian Report and support our work. It's really important for us. Thank you. You can find links and references in the description of the video. See you in the next video.